Life has a beautiful rhythm. People enter, people leave, situations shift, and seasons change. Yet, through all of it, there's one constant. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. When you focus on you, everything else aligns in its rightful place. You are the center of your world. From the very moment you wake in the morning until you close your eyes at night, it is your thoughts, your energy, and your choices that shape the reality you live in. So often, we are taught to put others first, to seek validation outside of ourselves, or to depend on someone else for our sense of worth. Yet the truth is, the only constant in your life is you. Friends may come and go, relationships may shift, circumstances may change, but you will always remain with yourself. That is why nurturing your inner world is the most powerful gift you can ever give yourself. When you begin to honor yourself as the center of your world, you stop living as if you are powerless, and you start realizing that you are the creator of your experience. Every thought you think sends out an energy. Every word you speak has power. Every belief you hold shapes what you attract. Life is not happening to you. It is responding to you. The universe reflects back the way you treat yourself. If you carry thoughts of lack, you see lack. If you carry thoughts of love, you see love. This is why your inner relationship with yourself matters more than anything else. Many people spend their days pouring all their attention into others, seeking approval from partners, friends, family, or even strangers. And while relationships are a beautiful part of life, they cannot be the source of your identity. When you forget that you are the center, you begin to live in fear. Fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. But when you bring the focus back to yourself, you step into freedom. You know that you are whole and complete, regardless of who chooses to stay or go. Being the center of your world does not mean shutting others out. It does not mean selfishness. It means creating a strong foundation within yourself so that everything else in your life flows from a place of balance. Think of yourself as the sun in your own solar system. The planets revolve around you, but is your light that sustains the entire system. If the sun stopped shining, everything else would fall into darkness. In the same way, when you dim your own light to please others, you lose the very energy that gives meaning to your connections. But when you shine brightly, you illuminate not only your own path, but the path of everyone around you. The truth is, no one else can live your life for you. No one else can think your thoughts, breathe your breath, or walk your path. You are the one who must choose what you will believe about yourself. You are the one who must decide whether to see endings as losses or as new beginnings. You are the one who must learn to give yourself the love, kindness, and encouragement you may have long waited to hear from someone else. When you fully embrace being the center of your world, you take back your power. You stop depending on others to make you happy. You stop chasing after what is outside of you and instead begin to cultivate what is already within you. This shift changes everything. You become magnetic. You attract better relationships because you no longer seek from others what you have already given yourself. You attract new opportunities because you walk with confidence and clarity. And even when challenges come, you no longer crumble because your strength does not depend on anyone else's presence. It comes from your own inner core. So today, remind yourself, you are the center of your world. You are the source of your peace, your love, and your joy. People may come, people may go, but you remain. And as long as you remain aligned with your own truth, there is nothing you cannot create, nothing you cannot heal, and nothing you cannot become. Your life begins and ends with you. And when you honor that truth, life itself will honor you back, Every person who enters your life carries a message, a lesson, or a gift. They are not here to be owned or controlled, nor are they meant to stay forever in the way we sometimes hope. People are teachers, and they arrive with purpose, whether that purpose is to show you love, to reflect your wounds, to guide you forward, or even to challenge you in ways that awaken your strength. When you begin to see every connection as a teacher-student relationship, you release the need to cling or to fear loss. You understand that each soul is on its own journey, just as you are on yours, and the crossing of paths is part of a greater design. It is natural to want to hold on tightly to those who bring us joy, comfort, or companionship. But the truth is, no one belongs to us. Every person you meet is a free being with their own desires, choices, and paths to follow. To see them as possessions only creates suffering, because eventually life will show us that we cannot control anyone else's story. The more you let go of the need to own someone, the more you open yourself to receive the beauty of what they truly offer. Their presence, their wisdom, and love in the moment it is given. Some teachers come into your life briefly, perhaps only for a few hours or days, yet the impact they leave stays with you forever. A kind word from a stranger, a moment of unexpected help, or a small act of compassion can shift your entire outlook. These fleeting encounters remind us that lessons do not always need permanence to be powerful. Others may remain in your life for years, shaping you through friendship, family ties, or deep love. Their presence teaches you patience, compromise, and resilience. Sometimes their actions bring joy, other times they bring pain. But in both cases, they are showing you where you still need healing, where you are still learning to love yourself, and where you are being guided to grow. Even those who hurt you are teachers. They reveal your boundaries, they show you what you will no longer tolerate, and they force you to claim your power. Instead of viewing them with bitterness, you can choose to see them as souls who volunteered to play difficult roles in your growth. This perspective transforms pain into wisdom and resentment into release. You stop asking, "Why did they do this to me?" and begin asking, "What did I learn about myself through this experience?" In that moment, you shift from being a victim of life to being a student of life. To treat people as teachers also means to let them go when their lesson is complete. Holding on to someone who has finished their role in your journey only creates suffering, just as a child eventually leaves a classroom to move on to the next grade. You too must move forward when the time is right. Trust that if someone leaves, it is not because you are unworthy, but because your souls have exchanged what they were meant to give each other. Clinging only delays your progress, while letting go opens the door to new lessons and new blessings. When you stop seeing people as possessions, you begin to love them more purely. You love without conditions, without expectations, and without fear. You appreciate the moment you share with them instead of worrying about how long it will last. You see them as equals on the same path of learning, each of you reflecting, guiding, and teaching in your own way. This perspective frees both you and them to be authentic without the burden of control or ownership. So the next time someone enters your life, ask yourself, what are they here to teach me? And when someone leaves, ask, what lesson have I received and how has it helped me grow? With this mindset, you will no longer fear the ebb and flow of relationships. You will welcome each person with gratitude, bless them when they go, and carry the wisdom they gave you into the next chapter of your journey. People are not yours to keep. They are gifts to learn from. And the more you honor this truth, the more peacefully you will move through the dance of connection, love, and release. Your worth has nothing to do with who stays in your life, who chooses you, Or who walks away? Yet so many of us grow up believing that the measure of our value lies in how much others love us, how many people stand beside us, or how loyal they remain. We confuse someone else's choices with our own significance, forgetting that their actions are a reflection of their journey, not a judgment of our worth. The truth is, you were born worthy. Nothing and no one can add to or take away from that truth. It is easy to believe that if someone leaves, it must mean something is wrong with you. That perhaps you are not attractive enough, not interesting enough, or not lovable enough to make them stay. But this is a painful illusion. People leave for their own reasons that often have nothing to do with you at all. They may be searching for their own healing, caught in their own confusion, or following a path that simply no longer aligns with yours. To make their departure a reflection of your inadequacy is to misunderstand your own sacredness. When you measure your worth by who stays, you give away your power. You begin to mold yourself into shapes you were never meant to fit, just to please others or keep them close. You silence your truth, dim your light, and betray your needs, hoping that your sacrifice will convince someone to remain. But love that requires you to abandon yourself is not love at all. It is fear. And any relationship built on fear cannot bring the peace and joy you truly deserve. Your worth is not proven by how many people choose you, but by how deeply you choose yourself. When you recognize your own value, you stop begging for scraps of affection and start expecting the fullness of respect and love. You no longer cling to those who mistreat you, because you know you deserve better. You no longer chase after those who walk away, because you understand that what is meant for you will never need to be forced. You step into your own strength, and from that strength, you attract relationships that reflect your self-respect rather than your self-doubt. Think of the sun. It does not question its brightness when clouds pass over it. It does not beg the sky to remain clear so that it can shine. It continues to radiate its light, whether or not anyone can see it. And eventually, the clouds drift away, revealing what was always there. You too must remember that your brilliance does not fade because someone chooses to leave. Your essence remains whole and powerful whether you are celebrated, ignored, or misunderstood. It is also important to remember that departures often protect you more than they hurt you. Someone walking out of your life may be life's way of removing what no longer serves your growth. At first, it may feel like loss, but in time, you see that their absence created space for something greater. A closed door does not mean you are unworthy. It means life is guiding you toward a door that better fits your destiny. Trust that nothing is taken from you that was truly meant to stay. The most profound shift happens when you stop asking, "What didn't they stay?" and instead affirm, "I am enough as I am." When you begin to affirm your worth daily, you build an inner foundation that cannot be shaken by anyone's presence or absence. You walk with confidence, not because people validate you, but because you validate yourself. You love yourself not because someone else says you are lovable, but because you know it to be true. So if someone chooses to leave, bless them and let them go. Their choice does not diminish you. It simply reveals where they are on their journey. You are still whole, still radiant, still enough. You do not need to earn anyone's love or prove your value to anyone who cannot see it. The only proof you ever need is the love you give yourself, the respect you show yourself, and the truth you live each day. Your worth is eternal, untouched by the comings and goings of others. And the moment you claim that truth, you will never again question who you are. Peace is not something you find outside of yourself. It is something you create within. Yet many people spend their lives searching for it in others, in relationships, in accomplishments, or in material things. They believe that if they just make everyone else happy, if they sacrifice their needs for approval, or if they earn enough success, then peace will finally come. But peace does not work that way. Peace is born the moment you decide to put yourself first, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. When you choose to honor your own needs, your own energy, and your own truth, you invite balance into your life. Self-prioritization is not about ignoring others. It is about realizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you give everything to everyone else and leave nothing for yourself, you become drained, resentful, and restless. That is the opposite of peace. True peace arises when you know how to take care of yourself first, so that what you offer to others flows from fullness rather than exhaustion. When your heart is nourished, when your body is cared for, when your mind is clear, you naturally radiate calmness and strength into every relationship and situation. Many of us were taught that putting ourselves first is wrong, that it makes us selfish or unkind. But look deeper. How can you give love if you have not loved yourself? How can you offer support if you are collapsing inside? How can you bring joy if you are weighed down by resentment? The greatest gift you can give the world is your own wholeness. And wholeness begins with prioritizing your own needs without guilt or apology. Imagine your life as a garden. If you spend all your energy watering everyone else's flowers and never tend to your own, your garden will wither. People may admire your kindness, but inside, you will feel barren. Now imagine instead that you nurture your soil, give your plants sunlight, and care for your roots. Suddenly, your garden blooms with such abundance that you have extra flowers to share. This is the power of self-prioritization. It creates beauty and peace not only for you, but for everyone who enters your life. When you begin to prioritize yourself, you also learn the power of boundaries. You no longer say yes to everything out of fear of disappointing others. You learn that a no, spoken from truth, is an act of love, both to yourself and to the other person. It allows you to remain in integrity and prevents you from giving what you do not have. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors that keep your peace intact. They allow you to give freely when you choose, not when you are forced. Self-prioritization also means listening to your inner voice. Too often, people silence their intuition because they are afraid of what others might think. But when you ignore your inner wisdom, you betray yourself, and betrayal always robs you of peace. When you honor your instincts, when you trust your body's signals, when you listen to your heart, you step into alignment. And alignment is where peace lives. This kind of peace is not fragile. It does not depend on circumstances being perfect. Even in chaos, you can remain centered because you know how to care for your inner world. Others may be stressed, angry, or demanding, but you remain grounded because your foundation is strong. You no longer let external storms pull you into turmoil because you know your calm comes from within, not from them. So give yourself permission to prioritize you. Rest when you are tired. Say no when you need to. Follow your passions, honor your dreams, and nurture your body and soul. Remember that your peace is sacred. Protect it fiercely. The world does not need you to sacrifice yourself. It needs you whole, balanced, and alive. And the moment you commit to self-prioritization, you will discover that peace has been waiting for you all along, right inside your own heart. Letting go is one of the most powerful acts of faith you can ever practice. It is the art of releasing what no longer serves you, even when your hands ache from holding on. So many times we cling to people, situations, or memories because we believe that if we let them go, we will lose a part of ourselves. Yet the truth is, holding on to what has already finished its purpose only blocks the flow of new blessings. Life is always moving, always expanding, always guiding you toward greater experiences. When you release what no longer belongs, you create the space for something better to enter. It is natural to fear letting go. The familiar feels safe even when it hurts. A broken relationship, an old friendship, a job that drains you, or a belief that keeps you small, these can feel like home simply because you have carried them for so long. But comfort is not the same as peace, and familiarity is not the same as growth. By clinging to what is no longer aligned, you remain stuck in places where your soul no longer thrives. Letting go is an act of courage because it means stepping into the unknown, trusting that life has more to offer than what you are currently holding. Think of your hands as a vessel. If they are tightly gripping the past, there is no room to receive what is new. Opportunities may pass by. Love may be knocking at your door. Abundance may be waiting. But if your hands are full of yesterday, you cannot grasp tomorrow. By opening your grip, you signal to the universe that you are ready to be filled with blessings greater than what you could have imagined. Letting go does not mean you dishonor what once was. It means you accept it with gratitude and release it with love. Every relationship, every chapter, every season has served a purpose. Some people were meant to teach you joy, others to teach you strength. Some experiences lifted you higher, while others broke you open so you could rebuild. All of it mattered, all of it shaped you, but not all of it was meant to stay. By holding on too tightly, you turn lessons into prisons. By letting go, you transform endings into beginnings. Sometimes the reason we cannot let go is because we believe nothing better will come. We tell ourselves that this is the best we will ever have, the best we will ever feel, the best we will ever receive. But this is fear speaking, not truth. Life never takes away without offering something in return. When one chapter closes, another begins. When one door shuts, another opens. The empty space that remains after letting go is not loss. It is preparation. It is life clearing the stage so that something more aligned, more loving, more abundant can step forward. Letting go also frees you from carrying unnecessary weight. Imagine walking with a heavy bag on your shoulders, filled with old memories, regrets, and attachments. Every step becomes harder, every breath shorter. The moment you set the bag down, you feel light, free, able to move forward with ease. This is what happens in your heart when you release. You are no longer chained to what was. You are open to what is yet to come. The beauty of letting go is that it shifts your focus back to yourself. Instead of chasing after people who have already chosen to leave, instead of replaying stories that have already ended, you return your energy to your own journey. You remember that your life is not behind you. It is right here, and it is ahead of you. And the moment you let go of what is gone, you discover that you were never losing. You were making room to receive. So trust the process. Trust that what is meant for you will remain, and what is not will fall away. Bless what leaves, thank it for what it gave, and then release it with peace. The universe loves a willing heart, and when you let go, you invite in the miracles that have been waiting patiently for space to arrive. All your life, you may have been searching for a place that feels like home, a place of safety, of unconditional love, of belonging. You may have searched for it in people, hoping that someone's embrace would finally make you feel whole. You may have searched for it in accomplishments, thinking that success would finally quiet the restlessness within. You may have searched for it in material things, imagining that comfort would fill the emptiness. Yet no matter how far you have looked, the deepest truth remains. You are the home you have been looking for all along. Within you lies the love you crave. Within you lies the safety you seek. Within you lies the peace that no one else can provide. When you realize that you are your own home, you stop chasing approval and start resting in your own presence. You stop needing others to complete you and begin to understand that you were never incomplete. You stop fearing abandonment because you know that you can never abandon yourself. So many of us have been taught that our worth depends on what others think of us. We grow up believing that love is something we must earn, that belonging is something we must prove, that safety is something we must search for outside of ourselves. But this belief keeps us wandering, always moving from one person to the next, from one goal to the next, from one place to the next, never feeling settled. True home is not found by running outward. It is found by turning inward. When you sit quietly with yourself, when you begin to listen to your heart instead of drowning it out with noise, you start to feel it. That general sense of belonging that comes from within. It whispers, I am here. I am enough. I am whole. At first, it may feel unfamiliar, especially if you have spears criticizing or doubting yourself. But the more you nurture that inner voice, the stronger it becomes. Soon you no longer feel like a stranger to yourself. You feel like your own best friend. Being your own home also means giving yourself the compassion you once waited to receive from others. Instead of being harsh when you make mistakes, you soften and remind yourself that you are learning. Instead of abandoning yourself when life gets hard, you stay offering comfort and patience. Instead of expecting others to heal your wounds, you take responsibility for your own healing. This self-love is not arrogance. It is a recognition of your sacredness. It is choosing to honor yourself the way you always deserve to be honored. When you make yourself your home, your relationships transform. You no longer cling out of fear of being alone, because you know you are never truly alone. You no longer accept less than you deserve because you understand your value. You no longer lose yourself trying to please others because you already feel whole within. And from this place of wholeness, you attract connections that reflect the love and respect you have found inside yourself. Home is not a physical place, nor is it a person who may come and go. Home is the steady presence within you, the unshackable truth that you are enough exactly as you are. When storms of life rage around you, you can return to that inner space and find calm. When people walk away, you can return to that space and find love. When uncertainty arises, you can return to that space and find strength. You are the home you have been looking for. And when you realize this, you stop wandering. You stop searching. You stop grasping for something outside of yourself to fix what was never broken. You rest in the truth that you carry within you everything you have ever needed. Love, safety, acceptance, and belonging. This is your true foundation, and it will never leave you.